top, you translated, we did the first 10 lines already, so let me just recap. The elections were already here, were already present. Citizens had to elect new duo weary. Notice I didn't go with that bont. I didn't go with what we learned in the cartoon captions. I kind of made it into nicer English. Not were having, but just had. Okay? Through all the roads, messenger, is that right? Messages, campaign messages, were painted on the houses, on the walls of the houses, such as, "I beg you to make Marcus Appidius Sabinus duoer. He is a worthy candidate, a defender of your colony." Citizens were hurrying through the roads. They were watching the candidates. They, meaning the candidates, were walking through the roads. They were wearing, do you see it? Ambulabant. They were walking. And notice the und here, even though that's not what we had in the cartoon captions, nothing has changed in Latin. The und is still plural, just like the t is still singular. Yes? They were walking through the roads. They, gerebant, they were wearing their white togas. Now, turba fautorum, a throng. And what is this? Fauti is our supporters. So fauti, fautorum, what's orum? Of. Good. A throng of supporters were accompanying them. Was? A throng was. A throng of supporters was accompanying them. They were holding, you notice I'm following what we learned in the cartoon captions pretty closely, usually. They were holding speeches. They were promising many things. Now, if you don't know why I said many things, write a note to yourself to ask me about it or to come to my extra help day, okay? Because that's important, that you understand how I got to many things. They were promising many things. Okay, which they were not able. Ooh, look at that. Erant, poterant. Do you remember anxious erat? What is anxious erat? He was anxious. So if potest is able, what's poterat? He was able. You see how you actually know that. Poterat is he was able. Because it's just like est. Does that make sense? Show of hands if that makes sense. Okay. Which they were not. I'm just making it past tense. Eran, poteran, as opposed to posunt. Posunt is present. They are able. Poteran is past. They were not able. Which they were not able to carry out. The citizens were listening to them. Few, however, now if we go with what we just learned in the cartoon captions, we'll translate that as few, however, were believing them. If you want to fix up to make super nice English, you'll probably say few believed them, though. Yes? Now, very last thing before I let you take over is eis is dative. Few believed them. We expect accusative here, don't we? Based if this were like any other verb. Few believed eos. However, credere takes a dative case. Is why? Because it's probably something like few had faith toward them or something like that, right? Do you understand how it works? Faith in them, yeah, but dative. Okay? But don't translate that way. Just go with good English. Few believed them, right? And just think of it as something funny. You write, I expect an accusative and I get a dative. I can live with that. Yes?
Do we need to write down the translations anywhere?
No, we're going to do this in class together, straight. You can write it down or you can go on YouTube, whichever you prefer. Okay, speaking of YouTube, let's get somebody to take over. Okay, so I'll read the Latin. Flaccus in taberna sedebat, et colloquium cum amicis faciebant. Ganymedes senex querulus et miser, candidatis credere non possumus, inquit. Cum enim magistratum petunt, omnia promitunt, cum duo viri sunt, nihil faciunt, nihil corrant, nisi pecuniam suam. Okay, and what does it mean?
Flaccus sat in the tavern, and
Good. Now here you might have been able to go what we learned in the cartoon captions, and it would be okay English, I think.
okay,
So what would that be?
he was sitting.
Was sitting. Good. In the tavern. Good. Notice here, taberna is tavern. Sometimes it's shop. Okay. Good.
And made conversation with his friends.
Yes. If you go with what we learned in cartoon captions, what will it be?
Was making.
Was making conversation with friends. I'm not going to hold you to that formulaic translation, but
Okay.
just pointing it out to you. That's all. Now, I guess in English it's like Ganymedes.
Ganymedes, the complaining and
Yes.
miserable old man.
Yes, excellent. The complaining or a complaining and miserable old man. Nice.
We are not able to trust the candidates.
Okay, good. We're not able to trust, believe in,
Okay.
trust. Good. The candidates. Same thing. Candidatis that we had above. Right. You might have expect candidatos, but credere, like many verbs, unless you take the dative instead. Good. Inquit.
He says.
Now here, inquit can be whatever tense the passage is. So if the passage,
Oh, I
like
said.
in the red book, or whatever color it was everything was present tense, inquit is going to be present. But now we're in past tense domain, so inquit is going to be past.
Okay, so he said.
Good.
And then, is it like for with, or for which or something?
For, enim, for, because, for. Right? In other words, why can't we trust the candidates?
Oh.
We can't trust the candidates for, because.
Mhm. They don't ask, or they ask the magistracy only, or
Cum enim magistratum petunt, for when they are seeking the magistracy, when they are seeking elected office. Cum can mean when, it doesn't have to mean with.
okay.
I think we might have learned that as a vocabulary item. I don't remember, or the authors might just have forgotten that you didn't learn that yet, which happens. Sorry. It can mean with. It doesn't. It can mean when. Beginning of clause, and that's what we have here. When.
Then they all promise.
When they are seeking office. Now let's go to the verb. Let's not go to omnia yet.
Promise.
Promitunt. They
They promise.
They promise. What do they promise?
Everything.
Everything. Good. Same thing. We had something that looks similar a few lines above, and I told you if you don't understand, suppose I translated it kind of awkwardly as all things. They promise all things. Better everything. If you don't understand why or what's going on, please come and see me, because you really must. If you think that that's like puella, nominative singular, we got to straighten that out.
Because they are the duo weary.
Cum, just like above, when. So
Oh, when,
here,
sorry.
remember, this is new. The authors might have thrown this in without explaining it to you. I'm sorry to say. I'll just tell you it means when. So when they are seeking elected office, they promise everything. On the other hand, when
They are duo weary.
duo weary, nihil faciunt.
They. I don't know what nihil is.
I think you do. English nihilism, nihilist, nothing.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
They do nothing.
They do nothing. Excellent. Nihil currant, nisi pecuniam sua. And that's where you'll stop. So again, nihil is nothing.
Mm.
Currant,
They run.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of mispronouncing. I'm really emphasizing my raw R's here. Courant. Actually, it'd be corunt. Is run. This is a different word. Corrare is to care for.
Okay.
Yeah, correre is to run. Corrare is to care for. Make sure you know both. So with an A and one R, it's to care for. As in, we have like care, English word care. I don't know.
So they care for
Nihil.
nothing.
Nothing. Nisi except.
Except when there's money.
Except pecuniam sum. They care for nihil
Mhm.
except. Now there's another. This is the object of care. They care for
Money.
nothing except their
Except
own money.
money.
Yes, good. They care for nothing except their own money. Okay, very nice. Okay, we're at the next paragraph. Phileros. We're ready. Am I supposed to read the Latin?
Yeah.
Phileros vera or vera dicis, Ganymedes inquit, omnes candidati putidi sunt, sicut Chrysanthus homo pessimus, olim paupererat qui paratus fuit quadrantem decore dentibus tolere. Ooh, that's bad. That's cheap. Okay. Nunc divitias innumerabilis habet, commodo illas divitias sibi comparavit, forcifer est. Of course. Some things never change, huh? Isn't a Mayor of Trenton going to jail or something? Okay. He picked a penny out of the dung with his teeth. Oh, no, sorry. I should say that on YouTube. That's not true. Oh, go ahead, Jabbar.
Phileros, you speak the truth.
Good, you speak the truth. If you're thinking it says you speak true things, that's a more literal translation. Fine. You speak the truth is better.
You speak the truth. Ganymedes.
Ganymedes, I guess you said in English. I don't know.
He says, all of the candidates are rotten.
Yes, putrid. Like,
Chrysanthus.
yes.
He is the worst.
Yeah,
He's a
it
bad
could
man.
be, yeah. Such as, or like Chrysanthus, the worst guy.
The worst.
But don't forget that superlative degree, the adjective, issimos, doesn't have to mean the worst. It can mean very terrible fellow, right? So maybe that fits better here. Such as Chrysanthus, that very terrible man. Okay? Olim pauper, I'm sorry I'm laughing, I think this is funny. Olim pauperera.
Once, what is pauper?
Can you guess from English? Pauper. We actually have a very close English word. And maybe it's even your translation. Pauper.
Once upon a time.
Once he was a pauper.
Once he was a
Pauper, poor guy.
poor guy. Okay.
A poor man. Once he was a poor fellow.
Once he was a poor man who
Paratus fuit. So just go with so translate that first. Now there's our fuit. More or less the same as erat in this sentence. Remember, it's not paratus est is he is prepared. Paratus erat is he was prepared. But then again, paratus fuit is also he was prepared. Okay?
he was prepared.
And what was he prepared to do? Tolere, to lift.
He is prepared to lift a farthing.
Yeah, we can say penny
Okay, he is prepared to lift a penny
from
the dung
the dung. Dentibus. Now, do you remember this
with his teeth.
with the ablative of means or instrument? With his teeth. Good job. He was prepared to lift a penny out of the dung with his teeth. Ooh. Would you do that? No. Of course not. That's from, that's actually a famous line from the Cana Trimacionis. Something you actually read in Latin at the end of the year. Okay?
Okay.
Now he's not a poor guy.
Now he is not a.
Oh, I'm sorry, I made that up. That's not in the text.
Okay.
I'm just adding commentary. Now he's not a poor guy. What is he? Habet, nunc habet.
Now he
Habet. Has, good job. Divitias innumerables.
in innumerable riches.
Innumerable riches, excellent, good job. And quomodo, how?
How
How did he literally put together, provide for himself?
So Devitas.
Elas divitias, how did he provide
How did he provide
for himself? Civi, do we all see it for himself? Show of hands who sees it. How did he provide for himself? Ooh, more importantly than that, do you all see this? Comparavit. How did we translate it?
How did he?
Did he provide? Past tense. Just like weed eat, just like ambulawit, just like festinawit. Yeah, do we all say raise your hand if you say it? Okay, good.
He is a thief.
He is a thief. Okay, nice translating. Good job. Let's get somebody else. Okay, Rohan, you're picking up line 151. We got to go quicker because we're at 1628 already. I'm sorry?
You want to read the Latin?
No, let's dispense with reading Latin actually because of the time.
Flaccus, however, unwillingly heard his friends.
Good. Audivi. Do we say it? What does that mean? Say your translation again, Rohan.
Flaccus, however, unwillingly heard
Heard
his friends.
or listened to. But do you see audivi like festinavit, like ambulawit? Good.
Don't tell nonsense, friends.
Good. Don't speak nonsense. Noli narrare. Now that, look, I don't want to talk about the mechanics of this right at this instant, but everybody in this room should be able to see that as like the negative imperative, the negative command. Don't do X. Noli narrare. Don't do X. Don't talk. Noli dicere. Yes? That's it. If you translate it, don't. It's noli plus the infinitive. So let's not analyze it. Let's just be able to translate it. Friend, don't speak nonsense, friend.
We should go to the polling station and
Good.
cast our votes.
Excellent. Good. Let's keep going. This is the positive. This is the actual command form. Surgite, get up.
Alright,
Amici.
get up, friends, and
Venite, here's another command.
and come with me.
And come with me. Good. Omne segi. No, I'm not reading. Let's go. Video's too long already.
All the
Omnes, everybody, all the guys, all the fellows, all the boys.
all the guys proceed to the polling station.
To the forum, good.
Okay.
And
hurry.
Festina verunt. May I just pause us for 1/2 a second and remind us that we had festina wheat, yes, in the cartoon captions, he hurried. Now we have festina verunt, they hurried. Are you okay with that? What does festinavit mean? Here, let's say it. Festinavit, everybody. Festinavit. What does it mean? Festinavit, like in the cartoon caption. He hurried. Now we have festinaverunt. Let's say it, everybody. Festinaverunt. And what does that mean? They hurry. So do you see that's just a plural version of what we saw in the cartoons? Good? You must be able to do that. Okay, good.
And they hurry to the polling station.
Excellent.
At a crossroads.
At a crossroads. Now, occorrerunt. Can you tell? Go ahead, Ron. What do you think? Occorro is to run into,
They
bump into, to meet.
They run into. They.
Do you want it to be run into?
Ran.
Ran into. Are we? Can you? Good job. Can you? Everybody else do that? Occorrerunt, just like festinaverunt. Yeah. Can please a show of hands. Who's with me here? Who can see that that's the plural version of what we saw in the cartoon captions? Okay, so they ran into, past tense, they ran into. Good. Duo candidatis. Whom did they run into?
Two candidates.
two candidates. Now, let me just say in passing, we might have expected it to be, candidatos with an OS accusative, but you run into a dative case. Simple as that, okay?
They ran into two candidates.
Yes. Who? The book threw this at us at the end of the last book. You may not remember it, so if you don't remember, circle qui and refresh your memory. Okay? Who
were proceeding.
Nice. Now, do you see what he did? Who were proceeding, just like the cartoon captions. Here we have we have B-A-N-T instead of B-A-T, but what the heck is the difference? Bond.
Who were proceeding to the polling station.
Good.
The bakers favored.
Yeah. Now here the authors told us, didn't go with that formula. The authors on the side didn't say were favoring. Why? Because favored is a little bit nicer English. That's all. That's the only reason why they did that.
The bakers favored one.
One.
Notice sports.
Yeah, notice sports here is not the subject. I'm going to still want they to be the subject. So they were carrying, bearing, holding up. Alba, notice boards. Now here, cum is back to with. This is the cum we've known. This is our old friend cum that we've known all along with.
With the inscription.
With this. Also circle hoc, if you don't remember. That was kind of the very last thing we learned in the last book. So circle that if you don't remember. Hoc is this. Ooh, short words that begin with H is this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good job. Nice. Let me tell you, the inscription says, Gaium Julium Polybium dui virum oro vos faciatis panem bonum facit. I beg you to make Gaius Julius Polybius a duo-weir. He makes good bread. Yes, that's a good election poster if I ever heard one. But it makes sense. Of course, the bakers are supporting him. Yes. What else would they say? And let's get somebody else. Okay, and the mule drivers favored the other. Yeah, was the end of that paragraph.
Okay.
Okay, so you're picking up with 30. Yeah.
Yep. I think it says others were being abused or something like that.
I don't want to be were being abused. What was it in the cartoon captions? Ambulabat. What's
Yeah, it says
ambulabat?
was, but like,
Yeah.
was
So
being
ambulabat
abused.
was ambulabat is what was
being.
Well, no,
ambulabat.
ambulabat.
Oh, was climbing.
Was running,
Was
or
running.
askendebat was
Yeah,
climbing.
climbing.
So if this is to abuse,
Yeah.
then this is was abusing.
Was abusing.
Or were, and make it plural, were abusing.
Oh, okay. So others were abusing.
Some were, now alios, you'll have to get used to that. Some were abusing others. Hurling insults may be better than abusing. Some were insulting others.
Okay.
Ooh, watch, if I wanted to make nice English, I might say some began to abuse others. We don't have to always follow that cartoon caption formula, right? Some began to abuse others is actually pretty nice here. Okay, go ahead. Soon, Mox.
Soon, rocks were flying throughout the air.
Yes,
the sky,
and nice, and do you see what he did? Volare is to fly, volaband, were flying. Good job.
Then it's like many wounds were like.
Akeperunt, Rohan was just translating. Rohan, what's festina weirunt? They hurried. It's just like festina wheat. He hurried. Festina wheat, he hurried.
Oh, they
Festina
wounded.
weirunt, they hurried. So what is this one?
They wounded many.
Many
were wounded?
Where is our verb? Akeperunt. Akipio is to receive.
Oh, so
Many received
wounds.
wounds. Many received wounds.
Many received. Okay.
And now, timweirunt, exactly like Rohan's festinaweirunt. So what is it?
They were timid people.
Many were not
Oh,
timid.
many-
were afraid.
Many
feared.
were
Ooh, if I say
afraid.
feared, I'll get the tense a little bit nicer. Many feared, and pay
went back
attention to
to
the
their
ands, yes.
houses.
And they say it again.
And they went back to their houses.
Went back to their houses. Good. Return to the houses.
Okay.
There it is again. Do you see how easy these things are to identify? Eiron, they exed, they hurried, they returned. Good.
So then,
Now, at length, at last, finally, a candidatus, quidem candidatus, a certain candidate.
a serious and respected man.
Nice, a serious and respected man, excellent. Habuit, just like weed eat and festinavit.
Yeah.
So if it is habio is to hold, habuit is
To speak,
To-
to spoke.
held. A
Held.
certain candidate held, just like weed eat is saw. Yeah, raise your hands, you with me? Weed eat, he saw, habuit, he held. Okay, what did he hold? He held an oratio,
Oh.
an oration, a speech.
Oh yeah,
Odd
speech
keyways to the citizens.
to the citizens.
And sedawit here, this one's really easy to recognize, just like festinawit. Festinawit, he hurried. Sedawit, he
Oh, he calmed the
calmed
The
the
riot.
tumult. Good.
Okay. Where am I?
Processerunt. Omnes, everybody. Processerunt.
Proceeded.
Proceeded, good, to the Comitia, to the polling station, and they tulerunt, sorry, cast
They cast their votes.
their votes. Excellent.
And
Here's another one.
then
Creaverunt, they created, they elected.
Yeah.
They elected.
Yeah, they elected.
Go ahead.
Oh, and triumph.
No, they elected novos duo.
Oh, there I am. Sorry. And they elected a
Novos
candidate.
new duo weird.
new duo.
They elected new duo weary.
Where
Good. We are on line 35.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Why don't we actually pause here?
What do I say?
Okay, Christina, we're exactly on line 35. Fautores. Eorum. Now here, please circle eorum. If you don't remember that eorum means their supporters. Please circle that and review it, okay? Their supporters.
Their supporters shouted.
Yeah, oh, nice.
Um,
Nice, we're good. Clamaverunt, like clamavit, shouted. Good. And they shouted happily. We'll say happily instead of happy.
Happily.
Because if we say they shouted happy, we'll get beat up by English teachers. Okay? And keep an eye out for these ands. And duxerunt. Du-
triumph in triumph.
Yeah, good. What did they do in triumph? They duxerunt. Du goes to lead. So duxerunt, like weed eat, duxit. They
Curtail.
led. No, they led.
Led home.
They led the victores,
They led the
victors
home
home. And you said it. Say it again.
in triumph.
In triumph. Good. Now, back to
Flaccus hurried
for
home.
Flaccus. Flaccus hurried home. Nice job. Hurried. How did you know hurried?
'Cause-
Festinavit.
Yeah.
Good job. Hurried home
and
and
told Scintilla
told Scintilla
everything.
everything. Now, just a half a second. That's awesome. Please don't correct it. That's correct. But in case you said told all things, now why am I saying all things? Ask yourself if you understand that. If you don't, come to my extra help day and we'll talk about it. All things. Last, but the very, very last thing, to Scintilla. Right? Why to Scintilla? Because let's decline Scintilla once. This will be the last thing for today. Scintilla, let's decline it. Scintilla, scintillae, scintillae, scintilla. So scintilla is nominative, subject. Scintillae of scintilla. What's this one? Scintillae. To scintilla. So literally it says, and he told all things scintillae. Go ahead, what is it? To scintilla. Okay, any questions? Okay, good. Awesome.